Novelty is the quality of being new, unusual, original. If we are to meet the creative criteria of novelty, of having our ideas be new, unusual, and original, we need to reach past the obvious solution to the novel one. Stefan Mumaw wrote in his 2013 book, Creative Bootcamp, that novelty defines the level of creativity inherent to a solution. One way to learn how to increase the novelty of our ideas is to practice generating unusual ideas and solutions through a challenge known as alternative uses. Another development by J.P. Guilford from his work in 1967, alternative uses is a challenge to list different uses for common items. The structure of the challenge is simple. Pick an everyday item, like a chair or a coffee mug, then give yourself just 2 minutes to free-think as many uses as you can for that item. At first, the uses generated may be obvious, but the training principle here is to move past these to discover as many alternative and unusual ideas and uses as you can. This is similar to an improvisation game used by actors, sometimes referred to as props. The goal is to find some application for the item that is uniquely inspired by the item itself and that is far removed from its intended use. An actor might take a chair and pretend to be a prisoner by portraying the legs as bars, for example. There are 3 key principles for the alternative uses challenge. Cultivate a sense of play. Find alternative uses by reaching beyond the common idea. And challenge and subvert expectations. In the first of the following 3 exercises, give yourself 2 minutes free thinking to come up with alternative uses for an old broom. Write your answers down. I recommend you pause the lesson and go ahead. How did that go? Based on Guilford's measures, how did you do? Fluency, how many ideas did you come up with? Flexibility, how many types of answers did your uses include? Originality, how unusual were your ideas? Elaboration, what level of detail did your responses include? In this second exercise, give yourself 2 minutes to come up with as many alternative uses as you can for a pen. This time, be sure to have a pen in your hands while you're working. I recommend you pause the lesson now and go ahead and complete this exercise. How did you do? Did having the object in your hands help you? It can be beneficial to have a physical object present, though usually the more complex the object, the greater the benefit of visual and tactile exposure. You can look at it from different perspectives, you can play with it, you can get a greater understanding of how it functions in space. A working model of any sort gives a solid frame of reference, increasing clarity of communication and fluency of change. We can invert this exercise in our third effort. Instead of coming up with as many alternative uses for an object as possible, we begin with a requirement and come up with as many objects as possible that can be used to meet this requirement. Let's set the goal of finding an object that a person could use to make into a picture frame. Give yourself 2 minutes and write down as many items as possible, as many objects as you can think of. I encourage you to complete this third creative exercise before continuing on. See you in the next lesson.